Hi, I'm Jennifer Delano, and in a few moments I'm going to be on the online prosperity show to talk about my book, Clean Up Your Client List. It's brand new. Prosper is also in it, and we're going to talk about the best lessons that I've written down and you should be aware of.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Online Prosperity Show, the #1 place to discover how the world's top entrepreneurs turn their stories into opportunities and their opportunities into influence. I'm your host, Prosper Taruvinga. Now, if you've ever maybe had a client who ghosted you or drained your energy, or maybe thought exposure was a valid form of payment, today's episode is your redemption arc. I am so excited to welcome back by popular demand, Jennifer Delano. Now, Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I am great. It's so nice to talk to you again and to be back.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really, really excited because for those that are meeting Jennifer for the very first time, Jennifer is the PR queen of the Netherlands, founder of PR Gurus, a marathon runner, and is also what we call a polyglot in progress. And because right now she's currently wrestling with Arabic, and a woman who's helping entrepreneurs clean up their client lists and actually level up their visibility. Now, Jennifer has been on the show before, and the last time Jennifer joined us, we were talking about the power of publicity, how to get the right media attention and turn your story into a spotlight. But today, we're taking it a bit further. We're going to be talking about boundaries, bad clients, and building a business that actually fuels your mission, not your burnout. So if you've ever wondered how to attract dream clients and still be able to say no with confidence to those that don't align with who you are, I think this episode is going to be that for you. Now, Jennifer, I'm excited. Congratulations on your new book.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to finally share it to the public, and this is the first podcast that I'm in. So let me do the first timer. Ta-da! Here it is. My first English book of Clean Up Your Client List. Yes. Yes, I not only brought the English version along. We started with the Dutch version, Nee Zeggen Loont. It became a bestseller, #1 management book. After that, I founded another publisher, found my work, read it, loved it, and published the German version, Nein Sagen Lohnt sich. And now, a year later, there it is. Clean Up Your Client List. Yes. And the great thing is that you're on it and in it, Prosper. Thank you so much for being part of the journey.
Congratulations. I'm really, really excited for this. We're going to be going into the book and everything else. But the last time you were teaching us how to get seen, obviously, that's one thing a lot of people have a problem with. You might have a business, but nobody really knows that you exist. But now you're teaching us when to actually walk away. All right. What actually inspired this next chapter for you?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur for a lot of years, more than 20 years currently, and I'm like mesmerized by this whole process of finding clients and finding clients that also fit your business. As a PR agent myself, I attract a lot of attention, visibility, and with that, a lot of people who tend to work with me. However, not everyone who wants to work with me is someone I want to work with. And with that, it's really important to know who your client is, who not, and what kind of behavior you want to tolerate and whatnot. And I met a lot of people, especially at the beginning of my entrepreneurship, and that's how I started a blog. 20 years ago, everyone had a blog, like everyone currently has all kinds of social media. Everyone had a blog. That was the before social media. So I had this blog about non-fitting clients, and I basically spoke about the most terrible fits. And we're talking about prospects. We're talking about just started clients you just started out working with, and then you find out that it was an absolutely nightmare. But also clients that after a couple of months, appear to be a total non-fit. And every time I blogged about it, I shared it on, at that moment, Hives. It's not existing anymore. But everyone always thought it was hilarious, very appealing to react on it, because everyone recognized these struggles. And that's a crazy thing. I talked to a lot of people about it, and everyone said, like, I had that too. But we don't talk about, setting boundaries, choosing the clients that fit. We gossip about it at a coffee machine, but we don't talk about actually solving this issue. Well, it is a problem if you put 80% of your energy and time in the 20% of the invoices that get paid or not get paid, and it makes you miserable.
Absolutely. You see, I absolutely love that. And especially when people are working on their own or running their own business, half of the time they are afraid to fire clients that are not a good fit. Now, in the book, you mentioned 7 types of clients to avoid. All right.
Yes, I do.
Right. And maybe can you go through maybe a few of those client types so that we have an understanding? Because sometimes you might not even notice that this is a very bad client. Just because they're paying you, it doesn't mean they have to stick in your books.
Yes, well, my book starts with why we work for people who don't pay our invoices and make us miserable. And it's about a trap. That's the first thing you say, like, why do we work for clients like that? And that's because mainly we start a business also at the moment that we also need money. So it might be smart, this is the first small advice, it might be smart to save some money before you start your business, so you actually have the freedom to say no, or you actually have time to find clients that are in the end make you happy, are able to pay your invoice, are willing to pay your invoice, and you like to work with them. So the trap is that we start to say yes because we need the money. And when you need the money in some kind of way, these clients that are totally non-fit, they feel it, they sense it, and they find you. And what kind of clients you can expect is the scammer. Make sure you stop working for them for free. The dummy, spare yourself the frustration and all those wasted hours, because basically they never make, they never choose. And you keep on writing all these, we could do this, we could do this, but they never will choose. So that you will never get paid because there will never be a signed, never a signed agreement. The creep, that's also a big one. And I'm glad we are, we're currently in a position that we actually start talking about this, subjects like these. Set your boundaries and perhaps teach someone some life lessons. Especially if you have a colleague who feels, not safe in a working environment, like read a book. I really try to put some advice in what you can do to help him, her, but also to keep it professional and to keep yourself safe. We also got the permanently dissatisfied client. So the one you whatever you do, the client will never be happy. And yes, these are. And what we also have, the whiner, the freeloader, and the drifter. So yes, we got 7 kind of clients that you should eliminate as quick as possible, because these people take your happiness, take your money or your time and your energy that you could and should use to clients that fit and makes you happy while getting paid.
I like that a lot. And thank you so much for going through that with us, because you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands full. So if you are trying to be successful and your hands are tied, when a new client comes in, you're not going to be able to extend, because your hands are filled up with maybe a scammer and a dummy and people that don't even care, and they're just looking for salvation on your part. Now, have you had any personal experiences with any of these types of characters? And
I saw them all. And although I'm in business for more than 20 years, I met this year, like for instance, there was someone who emailed me like, hey, I need PR, this is my business. I looked at the website looked really well. And this was someone who helped business who are struggling towards, having a great business again. And, I had a call with him, such a friendly human being. I thought this guy, great, really great. And so I got in my car, drove around. It was an older guy, which is fine. But so I went to his place. It was nearby. So I was like, okay, let's make this an offline meeting and see if we can, get to some kind of agreement here. And so I went there. I had this great talk, like, okay, we can do this and this and this and this and this, ready to go. I also promised him to send my book, things like these. It looks like we were hitting it off. Then I searched for the address to send him the book. And then I found out that this friendly older man was one of the biggest scammers of Holland.
Oh no!
He ripped up like 60,000 German people for a certain amount in once.
Oh no!
Like I don't know if I had to, what to feel about it, because it is also, how do you do this? Like, but this is what he does. He's looking for freelancers and businesses that don't know, that didn't Google him. And I looked at this LinkedIn and everything looked good and his website looked good. And one of the biggest scammers. So although you might be very professional, you might be in business for a long time, there are a lot of people out there who don't fit your client criteria, because he wasn't, of course, he was never ever going to pay me. Of course not. This is what he does. He let people work for free, and then so I never worked for free. I did send him the book because I promised to, but I never got in contact anymore. But it was like, wow, this year, just a couple of months ago. Yeah, unbelievable. Okay. It still happens. So if you ask like this, does this happen? Yeah, it still happens, because there are a lot of people around, and we don't know.
And thank you so much for sharing that story, because so many people don't realize. And I really want to go back to the part where, like you said, you have to make sure you're financially stable in order for you to be able to get into these things. And obviously, this is not like financial advice, but these days, so many people are using people from overseas and are also getting customers from, sort of interstate and things like that. And half of the time it just looks like, oh, this will be an easy job. What are the sort of things that you can maybe be on the lookout for in order to vet someone that you can work with, especially, or what sort of ways do you use to vet people before you start working with them?
I have some advice in a book, and one of the most important advice is Google them, because that's the first place. Just look around, see what people say. Mm-hmm. That might be, not always, but that might be a first indication. And just make sure that you invoice quickly, or even better, invoice immediately. So they have to pay you in a month. So if you are working for free for them because they don't pay, then at least you know within a month. And not after you work for a month, you send an invoice, you work another month, and you work two months for free. So and you can always ask for a 50%. You know, if people can pay you upfront. These things, these are a part of you know, these are things that you can just do and ask.
I think that's asking for a deposit. At least you're holding on to something, and then there's something going on.
Yes, and stop working when they don't pay. That's always just stop working. If they don't pay, stop. Just stop your work, because a non-paying client is not a client.
It's a charity case.
Yes. Think about that. Yes.
They're only a client if there's an exchange of energy, And speaking of energy, as a person, is there something that you might suggest so that, because if you don't know yourself, you wouldn't know what you don't like. Is there something that one person has to do in order for them to then be like, you know what? I'm not quite getting the vibe of this particular person. Are there any suggestions?
Well, the better you know yourself, the better you know what kind of clients would be a fit. But it might be a great idea to do a disc test to see what kind of disc colors fit your personality. And there's a big chance that you like to work with people with the same kind of personality. However, if you know what kind of colors you prefer, so what kind of communication you prefer, you know that how to work with people who are not these colors. For instance, I'm very yellow and red, and I also have green, but I don't have blue. So when blue people appear, then I feel it, I sense it, I read it, I immediately. But I also know that I should talk a little bit slower and give more details, and that's good because I know myself, and because I do know myself, and I recognize other people's preferences when it comes to communication. I can adapt to that, and I can easily work with people. But I also know that there are combinations of colors that are not particularly a good match, that I need to confirm, like, okay, for instance, you need PR, that it's a brand, it will help with the branding, it will help, gain some visibility, but it won't do your sales. And this conversation is something with some kind of color combinations I have more in depth than with other combinations.
Oh, absolutely. Now, talking about knowing yourself and everything else and things of that nature, you are actually known for being bold in the way that you approach and, the way that you speak to people. But has there ever been a time where you actually maybe doubted yourself, or maybe you played small for the wrong client while you were getting started in your business?
Yeah, that's always a process. It's always like, when do you want to be bold, and when it's a good moment just to be silent and listen. And I'm with every conversation, I'm asking myself, like, should I, is it time to speak up? Should I listen now? Like, yes, it's always. I'm always in a search for that. To get to the best communication that you can have. So yes, but do you doubt? Yes, sometimes I do doubt myself, or afterwards the conversation, I'm like, okay, I thought we had a great conversation, and then a couple of hours I'm still thinking, oh, maybe should I have asked this, or should have said that. Like, we're human. I guess a lot of people know what to say when the conversation ended, and afterwards they know what they should have done, of what would be better to have done. That's I guess that's a human. I guess that's a human thing that never really be erased, although the amounts of years of work. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, no,
Yeah. Just to
you've
be honest, like, I'm not going to lie about it. Yeah, I have so much experience. No, I don't have, I'm never nervous anymore. Like, yeah, of course, easily just do, like, that's not a case. No,
Yeah, because you built
no.
PR Gurus into a powerhouse, and it's now, a world-renowned brand. Obviously, there's a lot of leadership that goes into that, and also putting yourself out there and things of that nature. If clients are looking to work with you, what sort of clients are the best fit for you now?
Well, the most magic that I can deliver, I do that for clients who know who they are, they
Right.
know what they sell, they're currently selling, they're running their business, the marketing is doing good, the sales are doing good. They just forgot about this whole PR thing. They just forgot about it. So they see their competition doing good, also in the media, and they're like, why they never call us? Well, because they got a PR agent who makes sure that the media will call or will publish. And that makes a very big difference when it comes to, being recognized, and giving your marketing campaign that extra oomph to go really bold. And that's where I can bring the most magic. There's like businesses who doing good, but who want to do great, and forgot about a PR, and I can fix it in a couple of months.
Right. So you mentioned that people might come to you and say, "Oh, why is our competition doing better?" And then maybe they then use that as a reason to come to you. Now, if a
Yes.
client
Yeah.
comes to you and they already have expectations that are not the right expectations, and they're pushing you to get the results that maybe they're just seeing from your clients, do you have like a strike policy that you have? Okay, today, if you do it again, I'm gonna then cancel you,
Yes.
or do you give them
Yes.
three
I have
strikes warnings?
some. Yeah. Well, I have some. Yeah, we call it the rules of the game.
Yes.
I need people to do the interviews I come with.
Wow.
Like, so I ask from the start, what kind of interviews are you willing to do? What kind of interviews, what kind of subject don't you want to talk about? Like, some people really don't want to say anything when it comes to their personal life, when it comes about money, about, there people do have topics they don't want to talk about. Some people, they're ready to talk about everything, and I can use everything, and which is fine to me too. However, the moment we got this, we call it kader. This is where we're going to talk about. That's the moment when I go and find these interviews. I get people these interviews, and then I expect you to do these interviews. There is no no's. You want the publicity, you came to me because you want the publicity. I get you the publicity. There are reasons why I connect you to these do the list and to do the interviews, and then you do them. Yeah. This is like an absolutely no go when people. Yes, that there's a no. That, like, you can't say no to interviews. Like, there's like, we can discuss beforehand what to do, what not to do, but everything you agreed on doing, I'll pitch you and you just do it. And otherwise, we should not work together. Like, I don't get it. Like, I had this client a couple of months ago, a client who didn't pay, so it's basically not a client, did not pay, complained, and refused interviews. And
Oh,
so at the start, we made a whole PR plan. Like, this was what we're going to do. I got him in contact with like big national interview possibilities with journalists, and he just refused. And I'm like, this is so bad for my network. Like, don't hire me if you don't want to be interviewed. Just don't do it. And if you want to do it differently, or you need a different approach, or if you want different stories to, like, call me, and then we discuss it, and then we alter the plan, which is fine. But If I pitch you with the story you like to be pitched, you agreed up front, and I connect you. You do the interview. There's no,
So
so that
there's
yeah.
no there's no three strikes and you're out.
No, I don't. No. This is not going to happen 3 times. No, this is like, refusing interviews is an absolutely no go.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because afterwards they will complain why they didn't have these interviews, because that's why they hired me. But there, most of the time, there's something personally. They're scared for something in some kind of way,
Right. Right.
and that's terrible because they miss out such a big opportunities.
So in your world, do you maybe have clients that are, say, seasonal? Because when I was in Holland, all the businesses that are in the north in Zandvoort, they're closed for almost 6 months of the year. And obviously, if somebody's business is that seasonal where they cannot operate, but they still want to remain as your client, would you then clean them up, or is that, per case basis?
But can you promote something that's closed half a year? Is that the question?
No. I'm saying, there's some clients that might not need your services throughout, but they want to stay on your books. Okay. So, and half of the year, their business is obviously not open, but they want to come back again next year. Would you still consider them as clients, or they have to start again with the process?
Then you still can go to the media. I have clients who are, fully booked. However, you still need to stay in the picture, so you will get booked for over half a year. So you can still do interviews and have a waiting list. Well, that's the best you can get. If people are coming in, you can't help them right now. You do have a waiting list. That's a very luxury. That's a luxury. That's the better. That's the better part. If PR is helping you to sales, yeah, that would be great. I had my biggest launch this year was also interesting story. A marketeer connected me to the founder of a first Islamic bank in the Netherlands, and yes, and as a Christian and a woman, it was interesting. They hired me for this. However, I did brought them to the media, and we published, I mean, everywhere you possibly can publish in the Netherlands. Like we hit every big newspaper. We hit pages, like a full pager, multiple times in different newspapers. It went huge on social media, and we even had a politician talk about it, which I kind of joked about at the start, like, oh my God, it would be great if they start tweeting about it on X. And that also happened. And in the end, we attracted the big yearly goal that was 1,500 clients to get started with. We hit it in a week.
Oh,
and then they started with the marketing. so they were not even started. They just got the website online and the social media channels online. And then, we did a PR, and afterwards, already found the client they were looking for.
Now, you
Yes,
brought up
and
a
now they
very...
need to come up with the marketing.
Absolutely. You brought up a very interesting, concept there, which might actually get people to say maybe reject some clients or take people out if there's no alignment in maybe faith and family or worldview. Like you said, you worked for a client that would have had everything against everything that you are as a person. So how does your maybe spiritual life influence your business decisions?
Well, I do pray for all my clients, and I try to listen to if what's on my path is good, if this is the way to go, because if you have people the people around you and the people you connect with are also the ones you can help guide towards the right way. Yeah, I had a whole conversation with the founder of the Islamic bank, like what kind of what are you going to do with the money that people put on their account, for instance, in what kind of goals are you going to invest. And he had a very good story about that. So that's why I went for it. Yeah, why not a bank for people who want to feel welcome and don't want to be judged by their name or their last name, or so that's why I felt that this was a match. I had a conversation with client that I didn't feel a match with. Yeah, when it comes to gambling, porn, even got this person who got this whole platform and you can then rent a room by hour, sketchy kind of thing, Second Love kind of website. Yeah, I come across a lot of people, but I fully ask like what their intentions are with the business, and then I reflect on if this fits what I try to get into the world, because I make them bigger. That's what I do. I make businesses bigger, and not every business is worth making it bigger. It should, it should be improving the world.
Absolutely. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, because once you put a business out there, you can't take it back. And if you're helping people do the wrong thing, you know what I mean, that now, sits with you. And I think that's pretty much the reason why you literally always have to be cleaning up your client list, because some people might have changed their ways or changed their worldview, and you don't want to be promoting people that are, obviously hurting others or hurting some sort of environmental or societal way of being. No.
Yes. And that's why you should clean up your client list before you start working with them. And always keep your mind open, your eyes open when it comes to, who you keep working with or which not. Yes, totally agree on this.
Now, Jennifer, where are we getting this book? Do we have to come to your house and get it, or where are we getting this book?
Yeah, that would be fun, but it's not necessary. You can go to Amazon and find Clean Up Your Client List, or type in Jennifer Delano, and then you find this cover. You click on it and you can choose if you like the audio, if you like the real book like I'm holding right now. You can also go for the ebook. And it would also really help me if you read a book in any extent and review it.
Absolutely, yes. And if you've got any comments, leave them in the review section, and I think Jennifer will come in and answer those questions for you. Now, thank you so much for opening this book for us. Now, you've actually published this, and you've published in Dutch, you published in German, and now in English. What does it feel like for you to bring your message to new audiences and new cultures?
Well, I can tell you that writing the book and getting it published in, my native language, the Dutch one, this was really nice. I promoted it like to everyone who wanted the book. I showed it and I asked them to buy it. It got me a number one. It's got a number one in Holland, management book number one. I promoted afterwards. After this, a lot of authors found me. And I did help a lot of other people with a book to get to that number one as well. So it not only opened doors for myself as a publisher, but it also opened a lot of doors to other authors who were able to find me. The German, loved it. It's so great because German is my third language. And I'm so happy that a publisher found this, looked at this, read it, loved it, and wanted to publish it. So I'm really proud with the German one. But this is like, yes, it's self-published. So I work with a whole team of marketeers to get to this book, to get to a new title, to get to the subtitle, to get to how it actually looks. Well, I was looking for people who wanted to read the book and give a quote like you did. Thank you so much, Prosper. I really like it. So I'm... yes, it was a whole, it's a whole process, and I'm really, really proud. It feels like, you know, you bring a new baby to the to Earth. But this is like the best version yet. Like I updated everything, and I'm really, really proud that finally people in English can read this too.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to get myself a copy.
Looking forward to make this an Amazon bestseller.
Well, it already is, if you ask me, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because what you're helping people is the basic thing about running a business that's profitable and enjoyable. If your clients are giving you nothing but a pain, are giving you nothing but a headache, then what is the actual point of you being in business for yourself, you know? Because we start these businesses so that we can actually get freedom. But if the freedom is taken away by the very people you're supposed to be helping, then that's just a ticket to burn out, you know? So absolutely.
Yes.
Now, for somebody
So
who's
take
watching,
yourself seriously.
yeah.
Take yourself seriously. Do something about it. A business should be profitable and fun and should make you happy.
Now, if one entrepreneur is just watching this right now and they have a client from hell, as they call it, a client nightmare, what sort of advice do you want to leave with them if they are afraid of saying no just because maybe they need the numbers, they need the income, they have a family or they have a team they've got to feed?
Yes. Well, one of the advices I gave in the book, if you're working for a client from hell, just look how quickly you can get rid of the person. You are always allowed to give the assignment back. You can always say, I'm done, here's the money back, I quit. You can always find a job just for the moment, like work for a couple of months, so you get the freedom back to find the clients that they actually like. But you can always quit the work you're doing. Like there's always this room. That's why we got to be entrepreneurs, because we wanted, as you said, Prosper, we wanted the freedom that comes with it. So you also have the freedom to say no, I don't allow this behavior, but also no, I'm not going to work with you anymore. And that's a freedom. You should use it. Use it. Step up the game. I'm sure you got this leadership in you.
Absolutely. Now, Jennifer, the last time you were on the show, I asked you what's next, and you said you just watched this space. My book is coming out, and now you're on the show approximately a year or so later. What's next? What can we be excited about that we'll be celebrating with you in the coming year?
What is next? Well, with the 3 books, this subject, I addressed it as I could address it, and I'm currently looking for finding a new subject where it's time to give some visibility, to have some visibility on, and to have people talk about this. But I'm currently in the process of listening, talking to people, and when it's there, it's there. So that is next. Yes, and talk with people about to clean up your client list. That is also currently next. So yes, exciting stuff to work on.
Well, I can give you a hint. You're a mom and a marathon runner. Maybe you can talk about that aspect now, because we all need to be a holistic entrepreneur in order for us to be able to do and have a happier existence. So maybe there's something there that you can teach others how you manage to balance all of that, plus writing books, plus running the biggest PR agency that I know in the Netherlands, and still managing to keep your head above your head.
Yes. Well, if you feel that something is in the stars for you, just go for it. Life is too short to wait, to think about it again and again. Just do it. I love the Nike quote. Just do it. Just pursue those dreams. Life is too short to wait.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a powerful conversation with Jennifer. And I think she just reminded us that success isn't about working with just about anyone who shows up at your door holding a credit card. Maybe that credit card might actually be fake. It's about working with the right people. So if you're ready to start attracting better clients, build stronger boundaries, and also just turn your mission into media worthy momentum, I encourage you to grab Jennifer's new book, Clean Up Your Client List, on Amazon, and actually connect with her on PR Gurus. I'll put all those links in the show notes so that you can jump on there real quick. And I also encourage you to share this episode with a friend who's holding on to a client. Their hands are actually bleeding. All right. There are people that are just holding on to people just because they paid them 3 months ago and they haven't paid them, in the last 2 months. And they're just hoping that maybe something will work out for them in the end. Most of these people are looking for this kind of information and for this book. So maybe you could just give it to them as a Christmas present, birthday present, or as a Valentine's gift, because their happiness is also going to constitute your own happiness. So I can't wait to see how you're going to clean up your client list. And Jennifer, thank you once again for being such a wonderful second guest now on the Online Prosperity Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Bye for now.